Happy.
So I recorded, Al.
Happy.
Okay, we're ready. Go.
All right. So good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I don't know about you, John, but the weather here is beautiful. So good start to Friday morning. And with that, we want to welcome John Marling and from Pulse Research. For many of you, this will be your, second, third, fourth go around with John. For some of you, this might be your first go around with John. So um, I'll give you a quick overview. Pulse Research does surveys in markets to look at buying habits, propensities, those things that are happening in the market. A update of our research has been going on for the last, I would say, several weeks. And John is here this morning to provide us an update on the information. For those of you who might not have been on the early part of this call, in Trib fashion, we have provided John all the new information, but we did it yesterday. So John will be updating that information as we go along. And so over the next week or so, you will start to see all the new numbers and new updates and new publications that we've added in September. And as I mentioned, I'd like to congratulate everybody on their initial success. It was our first month in September. All were mid-20 page counts and all very nice profitability and advertising sales. So it's a great start to the future of journalism in Western Pennsylvania. So we're excited about that. So with that, I turn the floor over to Mr. Marling and thank him for his time this morning.
Well, thank you very much, Al. I appreciate the very positive intro. Congratulations, everybody, on your successes. And on behalf of the Pulse team, I am very, very proud and honored to rejoin you. And I appreciate very, very much your business and support. Let me just say, I will do everything I personally can to support each and every one of you. I mean, obviously, as we move forward in time, there are great opportunities, but there's also challenges. The world is quite dynamic now, and I think you'll agree with that. And so I'll give you a quick overview of what we're going to cover together. As Al said, we've updated your research, and we asked the questions the businesses would ask, and it gives us really the insight, the resource to be that consultant, be that hero with the business, with that knowledge that you have, and frankly, they don't have, but they want, because it's about and for their business. It gives you a great opportunity to engage, help, support, and find solutions for them. I know when I was an ad rep, I loved helping the business, getting results for them. And this is the tool, the resource for you to do that. So we're going to cover what I would call some of the wows from your research, some of the sweet spots, some of the takeaways that are driven by the changes, in our society, our economy, because of the pandemic. Obviously, people are spending more time at home. And so those are some of the categories that I will cover that I would suggest you contact, because these are the businesses that will have a much higher propensity to advertise, the best prospects, if you will. Then I'm going to kind of give you an overview of Pulse. As Al said, some of you are new, but maybe some of you aren't aware of the new services we've added to Pulse. So I'm going to give you a very quick overview and tour, of your Pulse program. And then we'll wrap up with some suggestions. Some of the things that I would personally suggest. We're unique in that we work with hundreds of publications across North America, and they're constantly sharing their best practices and ideas with us. And so I put together the top 5 recommendations to wrap up our time together. And if you got any questions, suggestions, and ideas as we go through our get together today, please either shout it out this morning or send me an email at marlingpaper.net, okay? I love your ideas, suggestions, and your questions. If you think something in Pulse could be better, please let us know. We really appreciate that. Okay, so there we go. All Pulse does, I want to make this really, really, really clear and simple. Pulse, in the surveys we do, it's an audience buying, like Al mentioned. All we do is ask the questions a business would ask. It's really simple. So if you think about it, what would a furniture store ask? Well, do you plan to shop at a furniture store in the next 12 months? What do you plan to buy? Living room furniture, bedroom furniture, dining room furniture, mattresses, etc. What would a realtor ask? Well, do you plan to change to get a new realtor? Do you plan to buy a home? Do you plan to sell a home? You know, if you plan to buy a home, do you know a realtor to call? You know, what would a lawyer ask? Well, do you plan to change or get a new lawyer, right? What legal services do you need? Okay, so that's all Pulse does. We just ask the questions the businesses would ask, but this is why it's so effective. It's of your audience. It's of your print and your digital readers. So it gives you the ability to tell your story, to be able to share with the businesses the value, the opportunity of your audience for their specific business. And we ask for 590 business categories. And we'll go over that in just a second. So you've got everything you want except for organic horseshoes, which somebody in California wanted the other day. And I said, come on, we're not going to ask about organic horseshoes. It's about as popular and as broad-based business as I could think of. But anyways, 590 business categories, okay? And here are some of the major takeaways, some of the wows. I went through your research page by page. 42% of your audience said yes, they either made a purchase or they sought more information on a local product or service advertised in their local paper. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome, because that gives you, the confidence to go to the business and say, we work. People are buying. Not only is there the purchasing, opportunity here, but 42% are out there purchasing and getting more information. Some great demos. 27% over 100K income, 76.2 average income, 58% college degree or more, and 83, that's one of the highest numbers I've seen, 83% own their own home and residence. 12% of your audience either own or manage a business. I bring that up because that gives you that additional buying power. So for instance, if you're making a presentation to an auto dealer, you're obviously going to include, personal purchasing for new cars, new trucks, used cars, etc. But also add business automotive purchasing, because 12% of your audience own a business, manage, and they're making decisions to buy automobiles. They're making real estate purchasing decisions, insurance, etc. I made a huge sale once to an insurance company because I added one simple fact: the percentage of your audience, the number who are going to buy or get new business insurance. You see, wow, that's a big policy, big numbers, big dollars. And she signed a 52-week campaign because she also saw the business opportunity. So always think about including the business opportunity in the presentation. Oops, wrong way here. Oh, there we go. What's going on here? There we go. Huh, got me worried there for a second, y'all. The slideshow wasn't working. Okay, so as promised, little drum roll. Here are the 10 business categories that I would suggest you target. These are the hot ones, and they're based on your research, but also based upon the changes because of this darn pandemic in purchasing powers. Big category, financial. People are reevaluating, taking another look at their finances. Look at that. 24% of the households you read, print or digital, plan to change or get a new bank in the next 12 months. Think about that. That is huge. If you're a banker, that's going to grab your attention. Why? Because you sell it. Oh my gosh, look at the opportunity. But they're also going to be a little bit worried about what they might lose. So I would go out and share this with with the banks in your communities. Financial advisors, 11%. Change or new. Let me underscore this. We don't ask, do you plan to use a bank? I mean, that would be startling. 98% say they use the bank. But what is that? I mean, so what? So we asked, you plan to change or get a new bank, change or get a new financial advisor. That has real immediacy and impact. 11% plan to change or get a new credit union, okay? And think about that. So 1,000 households, that's 110 households, okay? That's a big deal. Next category, hot on the list, medical businesses. I chose 2. Dentists. Look at that. 41% plan to change or get a new dentist. 23% plan to get a new optometrist. There's change in buying patterns. These are the ones you should be targeting. Professional service businesses. Insurance, 9% plan to change. 11.5% new auto insurance. Part of the reason I'm suggesting these service businesses, I'm sure you run into some of your retailers, you got supply chain issues all across the country. People can't get product. It takes what? 4 to 5 to 6 months to get furniture. You want to go in and you want to get an appliance today? Good luck. And so you're probably getting, the objection, the challenge from businesses, well, I can't advertise because we don't have the product, the pipeline. Switch and focus on some of these service businesses like legal firms. 8% plan to change or get a new legal firm. 16%, huge opportunity, wills and trusts. Because of the pandemic, people are taking another look, at their future. And that's a couple of publications have told me they have gotten a significant amount of business from legal firms. Wills and trusts, that's a big one. Accountant, CPA, 8% plan to change or get a new CPA. Let's take a look at real estate for a second. Real estate, as you know, is hot. 4.8% plan to change or get a new realtor. But look at this number. This is one that'll get you some business. Of the households you reach, you plan to sell a home. Remember, listings are golden today. Realtors are extremely aggressive, and that's high priority. Get listings. 33% of the households you reach who plan to sell a home don't know who to call to help them sell that home. That will get you more real estate advertising. That fact right there. Then I chose a couple of other categories. Pets, big deal. People have bought pets because of the pandemic. They've been at home. And 23% of your households plan to shop at a pet store. Restaurants, 67% will use carryout. Education, here's a big category. 11.3% of your total audience plan to attend college, either full or part-time, either online or in person. Once again, a big category, shifting behaviors because of the pandemic. 54% will donate to a charity. I'm sure there's some, philanthropic charitable organizations in your community who would be very, very positive about advertising to get a larger share of the 54% of your audience who will donate. Here's an extremely a meaningful, big opportunity, employment. For those of you in recruitment, classified, and you've seen as you're driving around, $1,000 bonus for cooks, $4,000 bonus I saw the other day for a school bus driver. 13% of your audience currently plan seeking employment, either a new job or change job careers. But we also ask them, what type of job are you qualified or looking for? We asked everything from sales jobs to healthcare jobs to truck driver jobs. So you can go in and share that business or share with that business who's desperately looking for candidates. Hey, think about us. Indeed doesn't reach everybody, okay? LinkedIn doesn't reach everybody, but we reach households that are interested in a restaurant job, a sales job, a healthcare job. And all they're looking for in many cases is one, and you've got hundreds. It's a great story to tell. And by the way, speaking of story, that's what this is all about, is giving you the opportunity to tell your story, okay? And so I'll send you these slides here, and just to kind of in summary, you've got some great opportunities with these business categories you might not have thought about because of the changes in purchasing behavior. Why does Pulse matter now? We've been working together for, quite a few years. Pulse matters now, frankly, more than ever, because businesses are experiencing ongoing change and uncertainty. And what they want is somebody to be their partner, their friend, their consultant, to help them. A crystal ball, if you will. What's going to be happening? And darn it, you got the information of what's going to be happening for their business. The projected purchasing. They don't have it. Think about that for a second. They don't have the resources, the time to do the research, to ask the questions Paul's asked on behalf of you for their business. So it's more effective than ever because of that uncertainty. Now, let's talk about the overview of Pulse. Well, let me pause for a second. Anybody have any questions or any feedback or anything with a little more clarity? Okay, if not, let's continue here. Here are the simple steps to use Pulse. One of our clients asked me a couple weeks ago, just simply tell us how to use Pulse. Okay, that's what I did is I said, okay, that's a good point. But what I've got here for you is how to use Pulse in the sales process. Okay, some businesses you've never contacted, right? Some businesses, you've been, friends for a long, long time. You've had a relationship for years. But these are the steps and concurrent how to use Pulse. Okay, number one, prospects. Pulse gives you the ability to identify not just any old business prospect categories, but the best. Either the ones I've suggested because of the pandemic that you've got the purchasing, that's increased, or we are unique in that we work with hundreds of publications, thousands of ad reps, and we're able to track which business categories are most sold. Which business categories are most sold by community publications like yours? Go over that in just a second. If you want, we've got a great little call planner. You can identify prospects by business category like legal, and then click, 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 and create a call list of specific attorneys to call. Next step in the sales process, how do you get in the door? How do you get that appointment? Pulse has put together for you the words to say, the kind of the bullet points, if you will, that'll grab the attention of that business so they want to meet. They want to meet because they realize you've got the information, you've got the opportunity of what's going to be happening for their business. And so we'll go over that in just a second. Then obviously, after you got the appointment, you present the discovery, identifying opportunities and solutions for their business. And it's a great tool to get them talking. I know when they was on site, we'd go into some of the businesses. There was a home decor store. And the ad rep told me, well, she's not going to talk at all. I mean, she's a toughie. 45 minutes later, we had to try and get out of there because she was so interested in the information that we had about home decor. Okay. So getting them talking, getting their information to share with them ideas and suggestions to get more business. Next, show them how to reach the opportunity. So you've shown them how many households you have who are going to get a will or trust. Now you can, right within Pulse, put together a spec ad to say, here's some ideas and suggestions on how to reach these households, to engage with them to get a larger share who are going to get a will or trust. And then obviously the last step of the sales process is closing. Our little closing tool, we hear it all the time, with the engagement of the business has been phenomenally effective at getting the business to realize there's no risk here. There's no risk. All I need is just a handful of customers to cover the cost of the campaign. And so when they realize, oh my gosh, I only need 4, then they say yes. In fact, we got an email 3 days ago from a lady who attended one of our webinars, and we went over the break-even calculator. That afternoon, she went out and closed a car dealer who hadn't advertised in 2 years, a 52-week campaign, because she shared with the car dealer that they only needed 4 new customers to pay for the campaign. And the car dealer said yes. So we'll go over the closing tool. And then last, tracking your success in Pulse. So now I want to quickly go over, I put together some screenshots. I found it's easier to show you first on the screen, then we'll go live, okay? So Pulse prospects, we've got multiple prospecting tools. One of the most used, most effective is prospecting by most sold. And so we got the 590 business categories organized by most sold. Number 1, realtor. Number 2, new vehicle dealership. But look at down here, legal firm, number 10. And we've also got, there we go, financial advisor. Number 6. Boy, if I was in your market today, I would go out and make some financial advisor calls. Number 6 most sold. Okay, next, you can click and put them in your call list. But what's cool about the Pulse call list is you'll notice here is you've got the business, and then right next to it, you can click on the phone icon and you've got the words to say on the phone. You can click and it'll create an email. You can click and it'll create the words to say for a drop-in call. So it automatically gives you the ability to quickly, and I know how time precious, it is, you can click and get the words to say. And speaking of the words to say that break through, here is an example of the phone call words to say with a legal firm. And what it is, it's just really, really simple. It's just talking about what they want. And that, what the heck is it for me? Why are you calling me? What's my benefit? Why should I listen? Why should I get together? And so the engagement, and this is critically important, make sure they understand right from the get-go that you have some good news. You participated in, with Pulse, a legal firm survey. And if I was there today, I would say, I've got great news. We just participated in a legal firm survey. They're going to say, what do you mean by that? Well, we asked the same questions you would ask. Like what? Well, do you plan to change or get a new legal firm? Really? And here's the good news. We reached 2,813 households who are going to change or get a new legal firm. What Pulse does is does the math for the publication that you've selected, the audience you've selected, and puts right at your fingertips for the talking point, the benefit statement for them. 2,813 households, plan to shop at a legal firm, okay? And then, and I got this darn screen right in front of it here, you've got over 6,400 households who plan to get a will or a trust. So I'm sharing some talking points. Pulse has got it right at your fingertip. And then you say, would you like to know more? We also asked about other legal services they need. And so many times they say, yeah, let's get together. Why? Because they realize the benefit, the opportunity that you have that they want to know more about. The reality is, in many cases, you're going to have to leave a message. Over in New Jersey, one of our clients came up with the idea for a subject line. And so the subject line that they've suggested, and we love it and we bake it right into your program, is, I need a lawyer. I need a new sofa. I need a chiropractor, okay? So you say to them, if you leave it a message, hey, I thought you might be interested. We found out from a legal firm survey we just participated in. I will send you an email with how many local households said, yes, I need a lawyer. And I will be more than happy to follow up with additional information about legal services, et cetera. So they're looking for an email that says, I need a lawyer. So then, and I'll show you this a second live, but then what it does is it creates for you a email. You click on email, you got your subject line, I need a lawyer. That grabs their attention because it's about and for them. And then you've got your talking points, the benefit statements, 2,800 households, change or get an attorney, wills or trusts, 6,450. And once again, this is projected off of whose audience? Your audience. This is your story. Can you cut and paste this? Absolutely. So you just highlight it, personalize it, put it into your email, and send it off to them. And that is getting results. It's not perfect. Not everybody, emails, calls back. So follow up with a phone call. We suggest you do 15 per week, 15 engagements per week. That fills the pipeline. Next, you got your meeting with them. This is the flyer. It's probably our most effective and popular presentation. It's got the big number for the business category, 2,813. How does Pulse get that, by the way? Well, it's really simple. We ask in the survey, do you plan to change or get a legal firm? 7.5% said yes in this example. We multiply the households you reach to give us the number. And that's why we're anxiously awaiting to get your updated distribution numbers so that it'll be updated in your presentation, along with your new magazines. But then you've got the products and services for that business category. This is where the magic happens. where they realize, oh my gosh, I can get more. I can get a larger share. I can get more will and trust business. Or look at that. There's over 1,200 households who will use an attorney. I should be a real estate attorney. I should be targeting real estate legal services. So the flyer is your tool to engage discovery to get them to realize, oh my gosh, I should be advertising wills and trusts. And then you can pop right into, from Pulse, into your Metro creative graphic spec ad program, and very, very quickly create a spec ad. Here's how to reach them. Great, let's do it. And so it gives you that additional tool. And we suggest at least 4 flyer presentations with spec ads, every week. That will give you at least 1 sale a week. And this is a mock-up of our break-even calculator. If you haven't used it yet, oh my gosh, please do. Because what it does is it gets the business to understand and realize that there's no risk. There's no fear in signing a, oh my gosh, 52-week contract. Yes, you can. Why? Because in this example here, they only need 4 to pay for the campaign. That's 4 out of, let's say, 1,000 who are going to shop at a furniture store. So you get their input, like, what's your customer worth? What's that household going to spend over the next year? Well, $5,000. That's their number. But we got to figure out your net customer value after you take out the cost of the furniture, or the cost of the attorneys, et cetera, if it's a legal firm. What do you make? What's your net customer value? So they say, oh, about 70% cost of goods. And by the way, be comfortable because they understand cost of goods, okay? Net customer value. So 70% cost of goods means they make 30% on a net basis. That's $1,500, into the cost of the campaign, $5,200. They only need 4. They only need 4 customers. And so it's a great tool for anything you're selling, anything and everything to get their engagement. And you can put it on your phone and use it with them. Okay, then the reporting program, last piece of the sales process, where you can track and get credit for your Pulse presentations and engagement. And it gives you a resource, a tool to go back and grab the presentation, to print it again, etc. So that's a quick overview of the Pulse resource and tools specifically focused on the sales process. So once again, let me pause. I'm covering a lot this morning. So if you have any questions or stuff, just shout it out or send me an email. Okay, so now let's go live. So I've logged in with my account to Trib Total Media Pulse Sales Tools here. Okay, and so let me give you kind of a quick tour. Okay, and so number 1, starting out with prospects. So you click up here on prospects. We've got 4 different prospect tools for you. Okay, we've got the prospects based upon most sold, prospecting by geographic area, prospecting by audience buying power. A lot of people forget about this audience buying power. I'm going to click on this one in just a second here because it gives you the total dollars your audience is going to spend. And that is huge. And it's just, I've had so many businesses when I share with them, well, our audience is going to spend $8.9 million for widgets. They go, oh my gosh, they start salivating. And then we've got a prospecting tool based on special sections. So you've got a home improvement, automotive. It gives you a list of the best businesses to contact for that special section. So let's click here on audience buying power. It's one that is frankly underutilized, and I want to make sure you're aware of it, okay? And so you click on it. And by the way, where I live in Oregon is up in the Coast Mountains, and we have very limited internet. So you can click here and you can change and project for each individual publication your audience buying power, okay? So let's click here on Murraysville Star, okay? And now look at this. Murraysville Star audience projected $54.4 million will be spent at new car dealerships. How do we get that? We take the percentage from your research you intend to buy, times the number of households you reach times a very conservative number average spending per household for that category. Okay, 54.4 million. Can you think of some car dealers who would like to know that? Okay, moving down here. Let's go to another one. Used vehicle dealership, $12.7 million. Changing it in a legal firm, $9 million. Okay, mobile home dealer, $7.2 million. Look at that, by the way. A lot of times an ad rep says, well, that's a small percentage, 0.8%, 8% of 1%. I'm not going to call that's a dinky little percentage. But that represents 87 mobile homes, at 83,000 average each, which is low. That's $7.2 million. So the bottom line is the vehicle, still 630 something in Oregon, 707 in Oregon. The projected opportunity in dollars is huge. So take a look at that. Okay, so back to prospecting. Now I'm going to go back to the dashboard here. So right on the dashboard is probably the most effective populars, most sold. So you click on most sold business categories. Up will come the Pulse business categories ranked by most sold. This is the low-hanging fruit. These are the businesses that have the highest propensity of saying yes, most sold. And so number one is realtors. Remember, 33% don't know who to contact. Okay, furniture store, auto repair. I mentioned this a moment ago. Financial advisor, number 6. Or insurance, number 7. Okay, restaurant, lounge, or bar. Fast food, 9. Number 9, 10 is legal firms. You get the idea. This is the low-hanging fruit. Okay, another way to look at it is click by category. So you click by category. Apparel businesses, automotive businesses, beauty, community. Okay, education. I mentioned a moment ago that education is an area I would target. People are, going back. They're reevaluating their life, going back to school. Financial services, another big category. Okay, retail, on and on and on. For those of you that are in the classified side, we've got a significant number of business categories in health and medical, in professional services. It's all right at your fingertips. And this is, by the way, updated, current, brand new shopping information for you guys. There's a lot there, 590. Can we make it simple? Heck yes. You just type in like legal, okay? Fast as that. And now let's find some prospects for you. So legal firm, identified one of the best top categories. You click on find. Up will come a map. Can you change the geographic focus of the map? Absolutely. Just change the zip code. Or you can change and put in the community name. By the way, you can save it as your own personal geographic view. Just click on the red tag, click on add. You can name your geographic area, and then you click on make this my home view. So then anytime you click on or get a map, it'll display from your personalized geographic footprint, okay? And so now, let's put together a call list for attorneys. So you can click here, on the map, or the fastest way is over here on the left-hand rail, and this is a Google mashup. So you just click on add to call plan, add to call plan, add to call plan, okay? You're creating a call list. So you can either do it by geography, click, 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 or, you click up here now on your call plan. And up will come right at your fingertips the businesses you put in your call list, okay? And look at that, right next to it is your links to the words to say. So on here, LCR Lampe Attorney, I want to give them a call. So you just click on the phone icon and boom, up come the words to say, along with the phone number, okay? So you've got your talking points right here. Simple and as fast as that. Okay, you can obviously, let me click off here. Here's the email or the voicemail words to say, and it automatically creates for you your Pulse presentation. You can change the geography right here. So you can change the audience on the basis of the presentation right here. Okay, and there's your drop-down list. Now, I'm going to kind of bounce back and forth. So you leave a voice message that said, you know, I'm going to send you an email. I need an attorney. So right up here, you've got this email icon. You click here and presto, it creates for you that email, I need a lawyer. And as I suggested a moment ago, you can just cut and paste and personalize it. But what it has for you that's so powerful is the value, the opportunity, what grabs their attention. Think about it for a second. You're an attorney and you get an email that says there's 21,255 households who plan to get or change a new legal firm. You want to grow your firm. You got a couple new, lawyers on staff. Look at that. 44,000 households that you plan to get a new will or trust. So I would just cut and paste, personalize it, but obviously keep these bullet points. And I would keep this headline. That works. I need a lawyer. Some of the other ones say, like, I need a sofa. I need my car fixed. Okay. And so that's the example of the email. These are tools and resources you have in Pulse that take just seconds to break through, fill your pipeline with new appointments, new business opportunities. And by the way, you can obviously print your flyer here. And if you're going to do a cold call, here are the drop-in words to say. Hi, I'm John Marling with Trib Total Media. I've got some good news. We just participated in a legal firm survey. And they say, what do you mean by that? Well, we asked the same question. It always gets them talking. It's just beautiful. What do you mean by that? Well, we asked the questions you would ask. Like what? What did you ask? Well, we asked you plan to change or get a new legal firm. Really? What else you asked you? Well, we asked you plan to, get a new will. And they always say, can I see that? They want to see, they want to talk. I know, I don't know about you, when I was an ad rep, you walk in the business, a lot of things are happening, et cetera. And it's always, especially with brand new business, what do you say? How do you break the ice? How do you engage? This is a great little resource to engage. Hey, I got some good news. We just did a pet store survey. We just did a chiropractic survey. We just participated in a real estate survey. And they say, well, what do you mean? Well, we asked the questions you would ask. Like what? It gets them engaged. Okay? Okay, so now back to we've got our information here. We want to create a spec ad. You've got the opportunity. Now let's show them how to reach them. So you click here on spec ad. And you guys will have a faster internet connection than I do. And so it'll be a trifle bit speedier. Sun's coming up in Oregon, yay. And you will be able to create literally in about 30 to 45 seconds, multiple spec ads that you can take out. And so the Mr. Wizard will come up here. It automatically takes you right into the category that you created in Pulse. In this case, remember, we created a legal presentation. You just click here on search. And Mr. Wizard will bring up a great array of spec ads for legal firms. And then all you have to do is select one you like. It gives you the ability to modify, to customize that spec ad, and then you can save it right back into Pulse. And be patient for just a second. I have a dazzling when it's good and the winds are right and it's not raining. By the way, we went 3.5 months without rain. The forest fire danger was incredible. But it's finally raining, and on a good day, I get 2.5 megs of internet bandwidth, 2.5. So
John, I think you have to put on exact match and put a keyword in there.
Oh, it should click on search because I got the...
Well, I think you have to put digital because I think you had on that sheet before Trib Live only.
Okay.
Yeah, print.
Well,
there you go.
Ads. Search. Well, thank you very much for helping me out here as I'm stumbling along. I appreciate that. So you get it. It automatically gives you the ability within Pulse to get into Ad Wizard, create an ad.
Click on exact match. It'll bring up ads.
Okay. There we go. Huh. Click on
Thanks,
save.
Cindy.
Well, that's how I did it.
Okay, you guys get the idea. Your ads will come up, and then there will be a tab that says Save to Pulse. And just when you select your ad, you can save it to Pulse. And what'll happen, and I'm going to have to go back to Pulse now, so bear with me a second. Okay, can you see my Pulse screen? So I'm going to go back
Yes.
to, okay, so I'm going to go back to this legal firm. Well, this one's Marceau. Okay, and right here, it'll say View Spec Ad. So after you've clicked, you've gone into Metro, which for whatever reasons didn't work for me, probably because of my internet. When you do it and save it, then that spec ad will be saved right here in your presentation. Okay? And so you've got here's the opportunity, here's how to reach them. A couple of ad reps have told me they're getting 40, 50. One ad rep, she said, and I don't know if I can believe it, 90% close ratio. Using here's the opportunity and here's how to reach them. Okay, so let me click off here if I might. So you're there with them. My suggestion now is to put Pulse on your smartphone if you haven't already. So you click here on Help, okay? You click here on FAQ. Click here on How do I add Pulse to my mobile device? And there's the simple steps to add with an iPhone or an Android. And what'll happen is it'll put a beautiful red P on your screen. And then when you click on your mobile device, the big red P, you're automatically logged into Pulse. No sign-in necessary. And up comes, like you're seeing here on your smartphone, your Pulse homepage. Why is that cool? Look at this. You can click right here on the closing tool, and up comes on your smartphone the closing template, ready for you to engage with the business to take away their fear. And so here's what I suggest you say. I understand the uncertainty in the world today. Heck, every business is a little concerned about signing a contract because of, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. Let's work together. What do you mean by that? Well, if you need 1,000 new clients to pay for the campaign, probably a little risky. But what if you only needed a handful? Probably pretty comfortable. Well, let's figure out together. Well, how do you do that? Well, let's figure out, well, first of all, the campaign cost is $18,000, okay? And it's a 52-week campaign. Consistency and repetition gets results. You don't want to talk to those people who want to will or trust just once. You want to constantly reinforce why they should choose you, okay? So what's the value of a customer? Okay, if somebody comes in and you get a new will, what's the average cost? Well, about $4,000. The point is to get it from them, okay? Get their number, get their buy-in, okay? And sometimes they don't know what a customer's worth. So just say, well, is it $100,000? They go, oh, that's not $100,000. Well, is it $25? No, it's well, how about 10,000? What about 4,000? You just go back and forth. They all of a sudden, that's about $4,000, okay? Then you ask them, what are your cost of goods? Most of the time, they have a pretty good idea. Well, then you say, well, is it 70%? Is it 40%? And they say, I think, we've got the attorneys we got to pay, et cetera. So our cost is about 70%, okay? So you make about $1,200 per will or trust, your net customer value for the firm. Yeah, it sounds familiar. Look at that. You only need 15 will or trust clients over the next 52 weeks. It's just a little over one a month to cover the cost of the campaign. And remember, we have over 11,500 households. 11,500. Do you think you're going to get at least 15? Remember, we're going to be writing a 3x7 every week. You're going to get 25,000 impressions on the website. We're going to do an email campaign, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Do you think you're going to get, with that level of consistency and repetition, at least 15? And then be quiet. Because they're going to say, yeah, that's a no-brainer. 15, out of 11,000, yeah, and you just made a sale. It's a very, very effective way with their input to take away the fear. Okay, it's not a perfect world. What if somebody says, nah, I don't think I'll get 15? Okay, what do you think is the worst case scenario? Absolute lowest number of new clients you're going to get. You notice little thumbs down icon here? You click on that. What's your worst case? Well, I think the worst case, I think I'll get 12, one a month. Okay, worst case, right? Yeah, 12. You type in 12, 14,400 campaign they just agreed to. 12 new customers, their worst case scenario at $1,200 each, net value to them is $14,400. I made a huge sale to a realtor once when she was saying, nah, I don't think I'll get 7. I asked her, what do you think, the lowest? She said 4. And her commission was around, 2,000. So 4 times 2,000 was 8,000. She said, yeah, of course, let's do it. Okay. We got a nice little video, by the way, on the Pulse closing tool. And by the way, up here on training, if you're new to Pulse, click here. We've got a step-by-step training program that takes you through Pulse. You click here, start the training. It's a certification training program, and it takes you through. Each one of the sessions has a short 3 to 4 minute video along with appropriate assignments, like in prospecting, identifying specific prospects, okay? And then when you've completed each one, you click on it, then you get certified. You get credit for completing that step. And when you do all the steps, the call planner, getting the appointment, the flyer, the one-page spec ads, etc., you are Pulse certified. But the good news is they're short, they're simple, and it gives you the knowledge, the comfort with your Pulse tools. We've also got under help videos. We're constantly posting videos like how to use the break-even calculator, under our training program. Then the last thing to show you is the reporting. You click on reporting, and then in the reporting program, we'll list the presentations that you've made, okay? And then you just click on the dots here, and you can edit your presentation. You can create a spec ad. You can mark it as engaged, that you talked with them. You mark it as presented, sold. You can delete the presentation, okay? Also, in terms of organization, etc., back to the home page. Down at the bottom of your home page, you click on show, and you've got your most recent presentations. And you just, once again, click on the navigation dots, and then you can edit your presentation, create a spec ad, mark it as sold, pass, delete the presentation. You can also, and you notice this, when you mouse over, right from your home screen, let's say you're there with them in person, you can click on the flyer, open the door icon, and there you've got it on your screen, okay? And by the way, when you're there with them in person, you can click here. It goes right into the research. What else would you like to know? Okay. Oops. What happened here? Click on legal firm. Something must be wrong with my internet this morning. There we go. So business legal services, and click on update. What happens when you click on the icon is it goes right into the research, and it'll list all of the other business services for that category that weren't automatically populated into your Pulse presentation, okay? So that's an overview of Pulse. I've got a little longer than 45 minutes. I apologize for Al. But I'm more than...
All good, John, no problem.
Okay, awesome. And so now I'm more than happy to any suggestions, any questions, anything that I can assist and help with, in terms of the research, the prospecting suggestions, the, kind of the flow of the Pulse tools, etc.
I have a question.
Sure, Carolyn.
Hello. I noticed you clicked on Mazzara Law, which is actually my current advertiser.
Uh-huh.
So is there a way, and I noticed there was Trini Rafferty that had another rep's name tagged onto that. is there a way that it's like pulled in through our gemstone so that people know, like, you know, that's someone else's account they're currently running, so they're not duplicating, you know, basically sold advertisers?
Well, it's not, Pulse is not integrate with, it's Gemstone, you said?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
The way we enter our sales.
Okay, just a second. Let me click off on the flyer that I have up.
Okay,
And then I'm gonna click over here on prospects.
okay,
Then I'm gonna click on hot prospects. And then when we bring up a list, then I'm gonna click on attorneys.
okay,
Come on, internet. Ta-da, there we go. Legal firm attorneys. And obviously you can change the geographic area, Carolyn. But over
okay.
here on the left, if
Okay.
within Pulse, another ad rep has
Okay.
created a presentation for the business like Elsie Lampe,
Right.
it would
Elsie
give
Lampe.
it gives my name here, which
Okay.
indicates I have already tagged that business.
Okay,
So, and this one has not been tagged, it's blank here.
right.
To that degree, Pulse lets you know if another ad rep has tagged that business.
Okay.
And
That's
to be clear, when we first launched Pulse, we had no CRM.
okay.
If everybody remembers, and we were just, in fact, we weren't even in Gemstone, I don't believe.
Okay.
I believe we were still in Miles at the beginning. So, you know, Gemstone and our CRM is the Bible on accounts and account ownership and prospects.
Yeah.
So getting the information from here is one thing. Using our CRM and making sure that we're not calling on an active account of someone else's is the policy. So
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, awesome.
I love the system, by the way. I do.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And Carolyn, I had a rep ask a question about that before too.
Okay.
It was something that I had went in and was tinkering with to use as an example and just picked an area. So
Yeah.
my name was by it,
Mhm.
but, and I think since John Martling's name is next to this, it's just because he used them as an example. So just to kind of, because I freaked someone else out doing that just as an example before, so I apologize.
Only because I saw Mazzaro and Quattrini Rafferty, which I tend to run them a little bit. I have a little business with them.
Yeah, but that's part of this is it's one of the great tools because I've used it before. I know Christine just mentioned it, and I know Patty has. Sometimes it's good to go in and pick somebody that's already existing because we all go to somebody, we go to a new customer, and they want to know who's running,
Right.
who else is using your services. Well, it's nice to know that we have other people that are using our services. Always makes it easier sale. Well, who else is running?
Right.
Nothing's better than being in front of somebody and showing them a paper.
Yeah.
And they open it up and there are competitors in it.
Yeah.
Okay? Because that immediately gives credibility and instantly gets their attention. Now, if you then have the Pulse data to back up why that person's running, it's a simple process if we follow through and make sure and just use the data as it is. I think the one thing that we have to embrace with this is new data and a new survey, and it's a post-COVID, whatever you want to call now is. Because it's a survey that just happened August, September.
Yeah.
Right.
We're right now. These are all the concerns that every business has, ours included. So they want to have conversations. They want to talk about their business. They want to talk about their concerns. And we should be there to be that ear. And it's important to remember we got two of these and one of these.
Don, I knew you were having some internet difficulties with the spec ads, but I have one quick question. I was doing a spec ad yesterday for a real estate agent, and I was able to pull over their logo and, of course, their phone number and address and website address. But in the middle of the template, there was, just a general photo of someone else. Is there any way that we could make that just a bit more customizable so that we can put like her actual photo in there as opposed to the generic photos?
Now, what I've seen, and I'm not the expert, Bethany and the others at Metro are, but I saw an ad rep in a webinar we had the other day that person took a photo of the realtor she was working with and put it over. She did it as a logo. She kind of, how should we say, took the system, instead of, she called the photo a logo. The photo of the realtor was a logo, and then put it in as a logo, and it worked out really well.
Yeah, I did that too. I just couldn't change any of like it had a generic name and everything in there. So it was my realtor's photo, but someone else's name and information.
That you should be able to change. Do you have Bethany's number?
I'm sorry?
Do you have Bethany's number at Cindy? Do you have Bethany's number?
Not offhand.
Okay.
Sure.
I'll send that to you. Okay, Cindy?
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, and if everybody's not aware, John's company Pulse partners with Metro. Everybody here, with the exception of probably Jen Segner, she might have one now, a Metro login. But if you need Metro help and assistance, they're always available. And it's a good tool just to get some samples.
Mm-hmm.
Spec ad sell.
Yep. And if you have any issues in being able to integrate, in other words, click and get right into Metro from Pulse, let us know. It should be totally seamless. Okay. All right. If there are any other questions, I'll wrap up with 5 suggestions. Number 1, I've said it over and over. It's their research. When you're on the phone or with the email or there in person, hey, I got some good news. We did a furniture survey. We did a real estate survey. We just did a hearing aid survey. What do you mean by that? We asked the same questions you would ask. That starts the conversation because they want to know. The break-even calculator. Very, very effective. Practice with each other so you get a little comfort with it. Recommendation number 3 is I would suggest that every current advertiser right now, high priority, you share, tell your story, the opportunity of your audience for their business category. Reinforce that relationship. You don't want to get that phone call. Well, I've decided to use radio, or I've decided to use direct mail. Yeah, they're your friend, but you've got to reinforce the value of your audience. And here's the other good news. So many times when you show them the opportunity, and many times they're not aware how big it is or a new solution, you're going to get more business from them. The fastest way to get new business is from your existing customers. So recommendation number 3 is absolutely top priority. Get out there with your existing businesses. Number 4, every time, regardless of what you're selling, could be a digital only solution. Start the conversation. Good spelling here. Start the conversation with their benefit. Tip of the spear is what Lee calls it. Every presentation, every time. And number 5 is really important. Be excited for them about the opportunity of your audience. If you're not excited, they're not going to be excited. It's one of the principles I learned very early in my sales career is be excited about it. You've got some great news here for them. It's a huge opportunity they might not be aware of. There are a lot of businesses who are pretty beaten up right now. And this is of your audience, and it is extremely positive. So with that, I want to thank you for the opportunity. Marlene@paper.net. We love working with you guys. And Elle, is there anything you'd like to conclude with?
I appreciate your time, John, and again, getting up at 6 a.m. this morning to spend some time and give us this information. It's been useful and a tool that's benefited many people on this call, and we look forward to the new information.
I appreciate it. The new information is live right now, and
Yep.
as soon as we get the new publications, your new magazines, and the updated distribution numbers, we'll get that updated for you right away.
Yeah, I had a real quick question, John.
Sure.
I was in Pulse during your presentation, and I used one of the emails, and it says local households, but it doesn't say the publication that I was referring to, and when I pulled the information, is there, I mean, other than customizing it myself, is there a way to get it to pull that in so it says Murraysville Star or
That's a great question.
Norwood Star?
Yeah, right now it doesn't. That's a, the more sophisticated level of programming. But yeah, you have to put it in yourself, unfortunately, right now.
So it says local households. What do you recommend I put in there? Murraysville Star
Yes.
readers or
Yeah. Murraysville.
households in Murraysville, Delmont, and Export?
No, it's of your audience. So make sure they understand it's of your audience. Murraysville Star audience households. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it says it in the flyer, but unfortunately, it doesn't say it in the emails.
And I know you made those updates to the teasers. Thank you so much. That has been very useful for a lot of the reps liking to have that additional information. And the teasers are great because they wrap around any one of our, ongoing Trib Total Media flyers, and it's a great leave behind.
Perfect. We appreciate that suggestion. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great
All right, gang. Thanks. Have a great day.
Thanks a lot, John.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.